I would suggest that you consider what you've done and how you're representing your community.
Everything is done in the public eye. That's what we do, and we have a good reputation for that. And I'm offended by the attacks of my fellow council members.
A raging debate that sparked tensions between the public and Pasco City Council. Those vocal fireworks came during last night's City Council meeting in Pasco. I'm Madeline Hagen.
I'm Jason Valentine. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Well, the City of Pasco has not voted on whether cannabis shops will be allowed within city limits.
More than 100 people gathered in the Pasco City Hall Council chambers on Monday night. KV's Rylee Fitzgerald joins us here in the studio to talk about what raised tensions at last night's meeting. Rylee.
This debate really has been going on for months. Should cannabis retail be allowed in Pasco or not? That's what a lot of the conversation was about when 100 people in matching t-shirts entered the Pasco City Hall Council chambers on Monday night. However, it wasn't that debate that brought along heated words between council members and those in the audience. In fact, it was about the fact that this topic has had a resolution which was then taken back just weeks later. Many people are in agreement this discussion has gone on for long enough.
These attacks on our mayor and our council are ridiculous. I mean this sincerely.
It wasn't the dividing topic of cannabis retail that brought division between community members and elected officials. It was that the city had actually voted on the topic back in January, but in February the vote was rescinded, citing they needed more time to talk about it.
Yes, the intention was to open it up for further discussion just to get clarification again on the route that we were taking this into.
So this idea that somehow there's a backroom deal between that. No ordinance was going to be passed that evening. All we did was we took back our direction to staff to prepare an ordinance.
Franklin County Sheriff Jim Raymond says he wants the council to tell the truth when it comes to why the vote was rescinded.
At the last minute, at dark 30 at night, Madam Mayor, you all of a sudden were confused and wanted to withdraw your vote, even though your community member asked you and agreed with you with the decision that was made. I would suggest that you consider what you've done and how you're representing your community by withdrawing your vote and acting confused, because there was nothing confusing about it.
Some council members have expressed they were surprised when the vote was taken back.
When we amended that, I was a little blindsided, but after further clarification, after the fact, realizing, as Mayor Pro Tem Maloney pointed out, that the likelihood of this going to resolution and failing is not an effective use of our time.
And many are tired of talking about the discussion that never seems to find a resolution.
I mean, it seemed like this just never goes away. I thought we had an agreement, but it didn't fall through, so.
And frankly, I'm also sick and tired of still talking about it because it doesn't personally affect me.
The council ultimately decided not to give an answer on retail cannabis at Monday evening's council meeting, but came up with two next steps.
I think this sounds like a good compromise because I think everyone's going to leave here unhappy.
Yeah.
After all of this discussion, we don't have an answer as to whether Pasco will get a cannabis retailer or not. That decision will be made potentially at the next council meeting on March 20th. Then they'll decide if they should send the decision to the people of Pasco in advisory vote in an upcoming election, or if that's not approved, they will cast their vote on the matter of retail cannabis. Back to you.
Rylee, thank you so much. Matter that we'll be continuing to follow for
We've been following it for some time.
Absolutely. It feels like a long time. But